All right, episode 8 of the 904 Pro Show, connecting you to local businesses. Today with me, the Scott Holmes with Surfing the Summer. Scott, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Pat.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful day here at the beach, kind of feeling like summer. We're getting close, so figure we bring you on. We're about a month and a half away from things really getting kicked off.
Yeah, May 31st.
May 31st. Yeah. It's coming quickly. So, known Scott for a little while, and he's certainly a friend of a lot of the people in the group. And, Surfing the Summer, if you've not heard of it, maybe you've just moved to the beaches, but certainly sort of one of those legacy brands here at the beach. So, want to just talk, let's start all the way at the beginning. How did you get started with Surfing the Summer?
I started working at Aqua Surf Shop in 95,
okay.
And was doing lots of lessons, me and a couple other guys at the shop. And we were working on commission, so we were kind of hustling, we were always hustling. We were always trying to get the next lesson, the next sale, and we were working commission, so, we just kind of everything became competitive. Which was a lot of fun,
right.
Like we're going over to a retail store and we're having even more fun because we're competing and we're trying to have fun, and it was a really good time working, and it was at the peak of the surf industry. Like surfing was really popular starting in 90, a couple of years before that maybe, and we were all talking one day, me and another guy, another salesman there, and we were both doing lessons. We'd brag about how much lessons we were doing, and like this kid, and and all that, and we just one day he came to me. He goes, "Man, it was actually his idea. He came up and said, "Hey, we should do a camp." And I had longboards. I was a longboarder. Not a lot of people had them then. And he's like, "I want to borrow your longboards." I was like, "Well, how about hiring me?" And he goes, "All right, I'll give you this amount of money if we do this many kids, if you help." So I brought in 10 kids, which he brought in 10 kids, and I became a partner right off the bat.
Okay.
So I'm like, at that point, I was going to make half of, we were going to split it. So instead of being an employee, I became a partner.
Okay.
And I just love working with kids and teaching them to surf, and it's very satisfactory. And we did 20 kids that summer at first. We did 1 week, did 20 kids. It was a huge hit. We had no insurance. We didn't have a tent, table, or even water down there for the kids. They made them bring their own surfboards. I mean, this is, and soft top surfboards, which was a huge piece of equipment for us. Like we wouldn't be where we are today without the price of those dropping and everything. And it took us a couple years to get to that point. But that time, every year for 2 or 3 years, we were having the kids bring their own boards. We'd come in the shop, we'd sell them the surfboard, and then
full circle,
and it was nonstop. And and just from there, every year we just grew and grew and grew, and then my partner decided that he wanted to move on.
Okay.
I don't think I was in it for the long term, and I could see down the road that this was going to be huge, and here we are, 25. This is my 25th year.
There you go. That's right. So 25 years, the longest running surf camp in Northeast Florida, correct?
Yes, it is.
So that's saying something. I mean, I know there's a lot of other things that have kind of popped up, and you guys are obviously competing with name your camp, name your activity, and all that.
There's 8 surf camps in Jax Beach right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
So 2 locations, Jacksonville Beach and down in Micklers.
Yep.
And so Scott and I, we started working together last year. I was helping him do some of the promotion stuff, and we talked about all the wonderful things we were going to do, and it was going to be a great summer, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where no one knew what was going to happen. Obviously schools, churches, teams, all that stuff, but still had a great summer. Still packed out the camps just because it was outside. So talk a little bit, because I think coming into this summer, and maybe if people didn't really pay attention last summer, with everything shut down, maybe people just kind of backed away. Obviously a lot of people are still interested in the camp because we filled up. But talk a little bit about just safety protocols, and maybe give some of the viewers some kind of peace of mind going into this summer, even with things kind of, slowing down with the virus and all that.
Yeah, well, last summer we didn't, when it hit, we weren't sure we knew 6 foot distancing and then, wearing masks. Well, masks don't really work on the beach or in the water. So, And then, distancing doesn't work that great either because you need to be near the kid or, you don't want to lose the kid. So
Right.
When we get in the water, when we were on the beach, we spaced out, and basically, the main thing we wanted to do was like when the kids showed up and all the parents showed up to do check-ins every morning, and so what we did was we put some extra tents up and spread the checkout in where everybody would crowded on the beach, and that was our main concern, was just keeping everybody separate on the beach. Obviously we tried to do masks in the beginning, it didn't really work that good. So
the main thing is situation.
Yeah, we tried. We didn't want the kids crowded around the water cooler, so we did separate water coolers for each group, and first I wasn't going to do snack break, but that didn't work. Everybody wanted the crackers, so we had, so we set up different stations along the beach, and that's really just keeping them away from each other on the beach. I feel like in the water, like it's a less chance of being spread.
Sure.
So, and we had no issues last year at either camp.
Right.
So that was a good thing.
Yeah, and obviously, a lot of teams are back to normalcy. They've had their seasons with lacrosse, football, college sports are happening again, professional sports are happening. So I think a lot of that's gone away, and it seems like there's already excitement. Let's talk a little bit about the two locations, like you said, down at Michler's, and then it's at Seagate, correct?
Seagate, yes, 20th North.
20th North, same street. And I know, Michler's is really filling up, as well as Jack's Beach, so you guys are getting close. I mean, do you expect another sellout summer?
I expect that it's already, my first 2 weeks in Ponte Vedra are already sold out. That's the 14th and the 21st of June. Both are sold out. Now, there will be some people cancel. There might be some spots. We can still get you in there if you really need those 2 weeks. Jack's Beach is halfway there. So it's looking like it's going to be another really good summer for us. So.
There you go. That's awesome. Well, one of the things that we want to do as a group is share the stoke, as we said, and we're giving away one entry for a full free week at Surfing the Summer, just to kind of kick things off. We're big fans of what Scott's doing. So if you go to our website, we've got it up on social. Surfing the Summer is also put it out as well. You can enter for a chance to win, and one kid is going to get to go to surf camp with Scott and all of his awesome instructors on us. So pretty good opportunity if you're thinking about it. Maybe help the checkbook a little bit and get a free camp. Talk a little bit about, so you sign up a kid. There's probably different levels of, people that have, different comfortability in the water. Maybe they've surfed a little bit, maybe they're good. So talk just a little bit about what you guys actually do at camp.
Well, we put the kids in groups of 6, because we promise one instructor per 3 kids.
Okay.
And we basically do it by age at first, and then as as the first day goes through, we kind of maybe have to break it down to more what their capabilities are and their comfortability in the water. And
Okay.
that sometimes we'll move kids around if we have to. If there's sometimes they're gonna be an 8-year-old kid and he's like maybe really good and might be his first week, but he still might just have one of these kids that just gets it. So
Right.
he could move up. Then there might be some older kids that maybe aren't as comfortable in the waves, and so we'll move them down to a smaller group where they're not as far off the beach.
I got it.
But I think the main thing is like the one instructor per 3 kids, and getting everybody in the small group. So we were social distancing before even this was going on.
Before it was cool.
Yeah, we've always spread the kids out along the beach and had small groups with 2 instructors and we just didn't want everybody on top of each other.
Right.
And obviously we teach the basics of popping up and paddling and how to read the wave and catch the wave, and sometimes we can take it even further if it calls for it. The kid is more advanced. And what maybe
A few tricks.
Yeah, maybe a few tricks. If we can get them to go down the line, we're happy.
There you go. I've seen them out there, obviously coming out and doing some of the video and photos, and just seeing the kickoff at the camp, but also just if I'm running or riding or even doing some open water swim stuff, just seeing the kids out there. It's hard. I mean, anyone that's been in the ocean, but especially surfing, it's hard to have a bad time in the ocean, and especially when you're surfing. So to see those kids out
with
there,
all the kids your age and your peers out there, and I tell you, sometimes kids will show up and they're not too sure about this, and once they see the other kids out there and everybody having fun, man, they're all in. And we also do a money back guarantee. So we give the parents a full chance. Like if they come out that first day and the kid's not into it, I've even gone so far as to say, hey, bring them back tomorrow, and then still tomorrow they don't have fun, because we want the kids to have fun, and we don't want, you know, if they're not having fun, we don't really want them to be out there and be miserable. So I've gone as far as letting them come 2 days and then give a full refund, because we're about the kids and we want them to have fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it's so important right now with, you know, the mask and we talk about social distancing. It's just it's been such an atypical experience for these kids, and I know we talked about it, and I've talked about it with a lot of people. Just trying to being a kid's hard enough, and then you layer in all this like, what is COVID? Can I hug a family member? Can I talk to him? Right. So I think having, you know, sports where they can build that confidence and just go have fun and be kids. It's such an important thing, and I think that's why so many people signed up last year and why they're already signing up.
Yeah, it was a good thing, and we were exposed to some people that probably never even thought about coming to surf camp or never had an idea about it, and we got a lot of good exposure from that last year.
Yeah, because some camps did shut down, and you know everyone has their ability to make the decision if they're going to run a camp or not. But I was happy that you guys had it, and I think you're right. I think there were people that maybe were signed up for soccer, or baseball, or whatever camp. It got canceled, so you were the next option, and you know, to create that lifelong. And you know, we're getting up there. I hate to say it, but you know, it's a sport that, you know, I haven't played baseball in 20 years, but I can still go surf.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so it's teaching that lifelong, you know, love of getting out and being in nature.
Love of the ocean, and I mean, yeah, I mean, it was when I was a kid. It was, you didn't see guys 55, 50 years old out surfing. Like if you did, it was like, oh my god. Wow, he's old, and I'm 55 myself. I have 10, 15 friends that we surf 3, 4, 5 times a week. It's nothing. I see guys older than me now, you know, like and still charging it. So it is a good thing, kind of like golf, I guess, too. You know,
maybe a little more exciting than golf.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I'll say that.
So I mean, over 25 years, I'm sure you've seen, you know, seen some incredible things happen. You know, some great stories, but give me one just, you know, story that just makes this whole thing worth it for you.
I mean, there's a lot more that came with this than I first imagined. You know, it was about teaching kids and, you know, making a little side money, but I tell you, as the longer we did it, and the one thing that I will say is, like, these kids that started coming back and working for me, you know, like, and you know, and you know, organizations coming to you and saying, hey, we want you to do lessons at you know, at this event. Can't think of the name of it right now, but there was a couple events, and we go Surfers for Autism, that kind of thing. Okay. You know, when we do go, and you know, I'd volunteer for 2 or 3 events, and just being, you know, part of the community and getting to meet different people through the surf camp and surfing. But the main thing was, like, all these kids that come back, you know, kids, they'd come to camp 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they turned 16, they wanted to come and work, even 14, 15 now. So I have I'd say about a third of my employees had come through the camp, maybe more. And I've developed lifelong relationships with these people. They've even moved on and have regular jobs now.
Right.
And, you know, and they still come back and will, you know, come down and say hey, or, you know, stay in touch. So that part I never saw coming, you know.
Right. No, that's awesome.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, Chad Houseman, who we had on last episode, he's a friend of the program, been on a few times. Yeah. We actually did a video with him last summer, but I know his oldest went through the camp, and then now he's been an instructor for, what, 1 or 2 years?
His third year.
His third year coming up. Yeah. So it's got to be just an incredible thing to see these little guys who didn't really know what they were doing, and now they're coming back. And
yeah, you know, and the best part is you don't really have to do too much training with them because they've been through the camp. They know how it works. And if they do mess up, we're like, dude, I know you know better.
Right.
That kind of thing. So,
that's right. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, again, Scott Holmes with Surfing this Summer. You can find him surfingthissummer.com.
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram primarily. You can certainly find him on any of our 904 stuff. And again, if you want to register for a chance to win a free week of camp, you can go to our website, go to their social, our social. We send an email as well. We're going to run that for the next couple weeks. So hurry up and get a chance. And like we said, if you want to get your kid out of the house, into nature, into the water and have a great time with, again, the longest running surf camp in the area. Go to surfinthesummer.com. Scott.